Alright guys, thanks for tuning in today. Another after-use review on this one. This one is the Spyderco Tenacious, if you haven't guessed that already. I am doing this line of budget knives for some reason, but the reason is I can't afford a whole lot more, and I can buy a whole lot more, $20 or $30 knives than I can buy the $300, $400, $500 knives. Just seems I have $30 laying around a lot more than I do $500. Now I'm sure a lot of people are that way, especially when it comes to a knife. They'd rather just drop 30 bucks on a knife and you get something that's really good, especially for that price point, or drop $500 on a knife that is extremely well made, but dang, you're afraid to do anything with it because you're afraid you're going to ruin 500 bucks. And that's my situation. Now I'm going to say this is one of the sharpest knives for slicing that I own. And by that I mean, if you haven't seen it already, I have a video up where I basically cut a 2-liter bottle in half with this knife. It took multiple strikes, of course, but not one swoop. But so yeah, I cut a 2-liter bottle in half. And by the way, 2-liter bottles are not the easiest thing in the world to cut open. They have a lot of elasticity in my experience. They seem to want to bounce easier than they want to be cut. So I'm going to say that this knife has been stropped, and it was stropped because I was actually showing a video on actually how to... Actually, never mind, that was a different knife. This knife has been stropped on for a completely different reason, because I actually used it to break down a really big heavy-duty cardboard box that my other knife that I was using was struggling with because of the thickness of the blade and the bevel, the secondary bevel. And I need something with a zero grind, as they would call it, which is the case in this one. Now I'm going to give you my pluses and minuses in a bit, and there is actually one of the minuses, but we're going to show you how well this is. And this hasn't been reground or anything like that. It's just been run on a strop to put the edge back. And part of my mistakes here, but I want to show you. See what I'm saying? I mean, this is hard paper to cut through in any situation. There you go. I could go on and on with that, but I'm sure you're already bored with seeing this thing cut through phone book paper. I don't think the arm hair has grown back in my other arm yet, so we'll find a nice spot here to do it on. We'll do it up here. As you can see, that nice new bald spot I have there, gone. Here is gone. And it's still keeping its razor edge, and it keeps it very easily. This knife is extremely easy to strop as well, I'm going to say that. Now on some of this stuff about the knife, the pluses and the minuses, and this is what I've noticed. First, the major con, and this is just for me. Your mileage may vary. I'm not the hugest fan of Spidey holes. As you can see, I still have trouble flicking this open consistently. I'm getting better at it the more I practice. But for me, it's just getting my thumb in there just the right amount to actually be able to get it open with a wrist snap. And I'm almost better off doing that. Just getting it started and then doing the wrist snap than I am anything else. And while doing this, I'm always afraid I'm going to catch my knife on this wicked sharp edge and really slice it open. So that might be me being a little bit leery of flipping it open with my thumb with the Spidey hole. That just might be my thing. Oops, and sorry I bumped the camcorder. The other thing that could use a little bit of improvement, I think, is this right here. It could just be, for me, maybe a teensy bit wider. It just seems like it's grabbing me a little too much, and it's like a little too sharp. Right here, it's like a little bit too aggressive an edge. And I'm going to fix that with the Dremel wheel here shortly. But I really do love the jimping here. That's going to be the plus here. Because your thumb is not going anywhere. When you're using this, your thumb is not going anywhere on that jimping. Well, it will if you want to take off all your skin. And the rest of it, I need to round this over just a tad bit too. Just a little too sharp. Pocket clip is great. I had no issues with that. The knife never came out of my pocket or anything like that while doing my normal stuff. It has kept its edge extremely well, even though I have honed it. It is still centered after being used fairly well. I mean, I've had to loosen this up, so if it's all the way, if it's too tight, it's not opening up for me at all. So it's just a little bit off center, but not bad. But that's my own fault. It came perfectly centered from the factory. So there you go. I really do like the knife. I think the blade style is freaking awesome. I'm not a huge fan of the Spidey hole, and I can't remember what the material the handles are made out of. Go look at my unboxing video to find that information out if you really want to know. But I like that because it's not overly aggressive, but it's textured enough that even with wet hands, I didn't lose grip on this. And all the screws, as you can see here, have stayed tight too, which is a plus. I had one knife I forgot to mention in the review that they actually came loose, and I had to put a Loctite on them and keep them nice and locked down. But there you go. I want to thank you for watching. And this is a mixed review on my part. It's definitely got its pluses and minuses. But I think the biggest plus of all is the blade shape. That zero grind outweighs all the minuses in my book for what I need it for. Thanks for watching.